Making the move from city to countryside is often a momentous step.
Never in a million years I would imagine I would be seeing a house like this. Never, ever.
But for many years, Escape to the Country has been supporting countless people on the hunt for a new home.
What do we think of this?
Oh, my! Chocolate box.
We've travelled to the most picturesque pockets of Britain
Take a look at that killer view.
That's amazing.
to showcase thousands of exquisite country properties
Oh, but how pretty is that?
that our buyers just couldn't resist.
Seriously, get your checkbook out now.
Join us as we catch up with those who bought their dream home
Wow, that's why we love the Wye Valley.
Yeah.
to find out how the move changed their lives when they escaped to the country.
As I travel around the UK, I'm frequently asked, what happened next? You showed a couple the perfect property which they loved, but did they actually buy it? Well, quite often, yes, which is exactly why I'm excited to return here to the Wye Valley, where some of my buyers made their escapes to. But this time, I have a question of my own, and that is whether their escape to the countryside has been everything they dreamed of.
The Wye Valley is a designated area of outstanding natural beauty shared by Wales and England. It's a landscape of steep wooded gorges and rolling hills dotted with historic market towns and pretty villages built from local stone. Later on, I'll be catching up with Arthur and Judy, who nearly 5 years ago moved into the characterful home I showed them.
So I still wake up in the morning and come down and think, oh, I can't believe we live in such a gorgeous house. I love it.
That's music to my ears.
But first, I'll be visiting Adrian and Sarah, who are recent settlers, but have already made a life for themselves in this beautiful part of the world. Back in the autumn of 2016, marketing executive Sarah and account manager Adrian had been living in Guildford in Surrey for 20 years, but were looking for something quieter, away from the hustle and bustle of the popular commuter town.
It is a nice place, but it's just getting busier and busier. And I'm concerned because I think there are going to be a lot more houses built. I don't think really that the infrastructure is going to cope much longer, really.
The couple had discovered the Wye Valley a few years earlier and had set their hearts on relocating to the beautiful border country.
We've holidayed there a few times and we just love the area. It's so beautiful. It's actually quite different to where we are in Surrey. Lots of forests, the River Valley. It's gorgeous and we're just really looking forward to being able to go out and do our hobbies and have them all on our doorstep and hopefully try some new things too.
While Sarah was looking forward to exploring the countryside with her horse Bebo and their black Labrador Tarn, Adrian, a keen angler, wanted to tackle the Wye's waters.
I've fished all the local lakes and rivers around here, so I'm almost on first-name terms with some of the fish now. So I really want to try somewhere else.
With the couple planning on working from home, they were after an older property in a rural location with an open-plan layout, 3 bedrooms and a home office. They also had plans to develop a glamping business once they'd settled, and were after 1 acre of land on which to build some shepherd's huts and yurts. Adrian and Sarah had a budget of £650,000 to play with, but they'd already viewed 23 houses in the Wye Valley. So I had a job on my hands to secure them the property of their dreams. I started off by taking them to an area called the Hendra, just outside Monmouth, where I showed them an extended Victorian property in a peaceful setting.
Oh, that's fabulous.
It's really quiet.
But if you stand here and then listen, birds.
Well, that's what I call quiet.
That's different to Guildford, isn't it?
Just a bit.
Just slightly.
With top marks for location, we explored the recently renovated interior with an open-plan layout that met many of their requirements.
Now, you need to get your head around the geography here. Obviously, a little snug.
That's nice.
Great stove. But then I think this house really comes alive at the back end here.
Lovely and light.
Gives you that sort of open plan living that we want.
Yeah, it feels really homely actually. It's got a nice feel about it.
A 14-foot long dining room led on to the substantial kitchen.
This is a proper country kitchen. Range cooker. Love the floor.
You're not going to have to change this kitchen for years to come, are you?
No, it's great.
Upstairs, this charming character property had a large family bathroom and 3 good-sized bedrooms. The main one benefited from a Juliet balcony that overlooked the vast garden.
It's amazing. I like this.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
It's good size as well.
Yeah.
All that was left was to check out the land on offer. At around 2.5 acres, there was plenty of space for a glamping business. The grounds also included a stretch of riverside with fishing rights for keen angler Adrian.
You're surrounded by gorgeous scenery, aren't you?
It's stunning.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely
beautiful.
Stunning.
If you think it's stunning, chances are your happy campers will think it's stunning too.
I would think so.
Now, time to guess the price.
Oh, tricky. £620,000.
What do you think, Adrian?
I think it might be a bit more. I'm going to go for £640,000.
Good guesses. This house is on the market for offers around £650,000.
Okay.
Bang on budget, this extended Victorian cottage gave Adrian and Sarah everything they'd asked for.
This house actually does make me quite excited, and I can see the possibilities with it.
I think the idea of being able to fish right in your own back garden is every angler's dream.
Tell you what, it's a gorgeous spot, isn't it?
It's great.
So, have you seen enough? Can I tear you away?
Yes.
Come on then.
For the second offering, we took them to Barbados Hill, just outside Tintern in Monmouthshire, to a hillside property overlooking the impressive monastic ruins of Tintern Abbey.
Now, I want us to start just over here, because I think this is the best spot to get your first impressions of the house and the land.
That's a magnificent setting, isn't it? It really is.
Now, the house.
I like it.
It's quite a cute front door, and
Yeah.
yeah.
You're not convincing me here, Sarah, at the moment. Be honest. Come on, what's going through your mind? A veteran of all these house viewings that you've had recently in this part of the world.
It looks a bit too modern for my liking.
Although it might have looked modern, parts of the property were over 100 years old, and the interior featured far more obvious character than the facade.
Right then, let's come right into this kitchen. Farmhouse kitchen, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. This is more what you would kind of expect, I think.
Yeah, the quarry floor and wood units. It's very country kitchen.
We come back from a day's fishing out in the cold in the winter to come back into this. Quite nice.
Oh, I can
Very
see it now. Him hanging in all of his wet fishing gear over the range. That won't go down well, mate, will it?
The ground floor also included a living room and a study. Upstairs, off a galleried landing, were 3 bedrooms, including a master with views overlooking the Abbey.
Just look through that window. Tintern Abbey.
Wow, that is a view.
But in addition to the first floor sleeping quarters, there was also a partially converted loft space above.
I reckon we've warmed this house a little bit. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes.
Yeah?
I can see the potential.
Good.
And potential was definitely the word to use outside, as the 1 acre of landscaped grounds and gardens included a fully functioning log cabin, which could have made a great holiday let. There was also an additional 1.5 acres of woodland, a prime spot for shepherd's huts. All that was left was to discuss the money.
How much do you think this woodland house, if you like, is on the market for?
I'm going to say £620,000.
OK.
And I'm going to say an optimistic £600,000.
This house is actually on the market for £565,000.
Wow, that does.
Pretty amazing, really.
Under budget by £85,000, the price and potential of the hillside property had given Adrian and Sarah a lot to think about.
I think there's a huge amount of scope to really create something quite special that Sarah and I would really, really like.
Well, that was the end of our first day's house hunting. And up to that point, Adrian and Sarah had seen a grand total of 25 houses, including, of course, the 2 that I'd shown them. Now, whilst we had good reactions at both of those properties, I think if I was to write my own Escape to the Country report card, it would probably say, decent effort, Irwin, but could do better. A bit like this weather. But thankfully, there were still 2 houses to see, and the views at the 3rd property, well, they put the grades up to an A star.
House number 3 was just outside the village of St Brevels, over the border in Gloucestershire, perched on a hillside overlooking the Wye Valley.
There's one very good reason why I've brought you here, and it's that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's breathtaking, isn't it?
What a spot.
That is beautiful. That's why we love the Wye Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's priceless.
Now, with this view, you get a free house. I suppose we should look at the house at one point, shouldn't we?
We should really.
Yeah. First impressions?
Yeah,
nice.
I think it's really quite sweet, actually, with the little windows.
The house itself dated back to the early 19th century, but had been extended and recently renovated.
Views continue inside.
Really good views. Shame only to get a glimpse of it, though. You almost get
Really
teased
special.
by the glimpses of it. To have the whole thing would be amazing.
I was thinking a bit more
Bifold.
natural
Open
like
that
that.
up.
Bifold
Open that
doors.
right. Oh, yeah.
Come on, think about it.
I know.
Bifold doors there.
Out onto a deck. That would be amazing.
You've sold it to me. I think it would be amazing.
Like a good set
Yeah.
of bifold doors.
This is the 19th century part of the building, with proportions to match. Cute dining room though, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, another nice floor.
Wood burner, like that.
Can we meet the new kitchen? Now, this is a much more recent addition.
Wow.
Kitchen's about a year old.
Love the colour.
Like this.
And nice work surfaces.
Good.
Oh, this is lovely. It's proper country cottage.
Yeah, isn't it?
I see myself living here already.
Can you?
I can, yeah, really can, yeah.
With the views and the downstairs layout winning them over, we explored the sleeping options. The house had 3 bedrooms with 2 upstairs and a guest bedroom on the ground floor, also with amazing views.
Master bedroom.
Got to
then.
be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Has to be.
Definitely.
It's a really good size as well. Nice modern floor, dual aspect. Being able to just lie in bed and look out the window
Waking up to that view.
would be amazing.
Yeah.
Outside, the landscape gardens were made up of a lawn with well-stocked borders. It came with a pond, a private section of woodland for the glamping business, and a mini orchard.
Another box ticked for me.
It is indeed.
You know, this works extremely well.
With 3.5 acres of land, it was obvious that Adrian and Sarah were impressed by the whole package. But how much change, if any, would they get from their £650,000 pot?
I'm going to go for £645,000.
What are you guessing then, Sarah?
I'm thinking £650,000
Right at the top of your budget.
because of the views.
Well, you are a bit out, because this house is on the market for £615,000.
615?
You've got change.
With £35,000 left over in their pocket, our third house offered them the location, character, and space they were after.
It is absolutely perfect. I think it's everything we've been looking for and then some.
Will I be able to pull you away from this amazing view, do you think?
No, we'd like to stay, please.
Well, that's kind of good news, but we still have one property to see, and it is the mystery house. Give it a look.
Okay.
Yes.
Might as well. Come on, let's go.
Our fourth and final house, the mystery property, was in Ruadine on the edge of the Forest of Dean. It was a renovated barn. The mystery proposition was an up-and-running self-catering unit under the same roof, meaning they could start their holiday business straight away.
First impressions.
It looks quite big.
Parts of this date back to the 18th century.
Okay.
And we're thinking you could split this house in 2.
Okay.
Letting, home. What would that idea?
Sounds interesting.
Something different, isn't it?
It is different.
The open-plan interior had been finished to a high standard.
I think you'll like this kitchen.
Oh, it's a
Lovely
very nice kitchen.
Very modern.
It is really lovely. I mean, I love the layout. It's been done absolutely beautifully.
Upstairs, there were 2 double bedrooms, including one which was ensuite.
Again, the finish here, every bit of architraving.
It's
just
polished, isn't it?
yeah,
It's beautiful. They've done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Now, so far we've talked about your enterprise, your business idea of being camping or glamping. But this property itself gives you an opportunity to earn some money. Let me show you.
The mystery element was a converted barn, completely self-contained with all of its own facilities. It consisted of a double bedroom, bathroom and kitchen on the ground floor, and a further bedroom and living room upstairs.
Nice idea.
Good, isn't it?
Upside down living.
Clever way of doing it.
Would you like to come here for a long weekend or whatever and use this place as a holiday let?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think people would.
So how about running this as a little bit of a business?
Could do, but we really are set on glamping.
Really? Even though you've got this?
Yeah.
With Adrian and Sarah clearly committed to the cause, we explored the grounds, which included a small orchard for a scaled-down glamping business. And then came the price.
I'd say £600,000.
OK. Adrian?
I'm going to go slightly more, £610,000.
It's on the market for £545,000.
No, really?
That's a really good price.
Under budget by £105,000, this impeccably presented mystery house had given our couple a twist on their business idea.
I think this house is absolutely beautiful, and it certainly has given myself and I think Sarah quite a bit of inspiration about how we might like our future house to look inside.
So, all done here?
We are, yeah.
Had a good look around?
Had a good look around.
Are you getting close to making a decision?
I think so.
Yeah?
Very much so.
Let's go then, come on.
But as we sat down later to discuss their move, they were clearly one step ahead with one of our houses, as I discovered to my amazement.
We've put an offer in on it.
Really?
Yes. And actually, there's a bit more to that story.
What? OK.
The offer's been accepted.
What? I like this.
So which of our 4 properties was the cause for celebration? The first, the extended period property with land and fishing rights, had got us off to a good start. The second, the woodland hillside home overlooking the Abbey, had lots of potential. House 3, with its stunning views across the Wye Valley, gave them the character and space they wanted in their ideal location. And finally, our mystery option, the converted barn with adjoining holiday let, presented them with an alternative business proposition. But which property had captured their hearts?
Well, it's almost a year to the very day that I was last here in the Wye Valley with Sarah and Adrian. Now, for them, and for me actually, it was a no-brainer, so it should come as no surprise that they opted for the third property. You know, the one with a spectacular view that also came with a free house. Now, on a day like today, well, I can just about see the house, but the view, well, that's another story. I'm here to catch up with them, to see how they're getting on, but also to find out how that new business of theirs is shaping up.
Adrian and Sarah finally moved into their hillside property with the view 5 months ago. And now it's their turn to give me a tour of the house.
Here he is.
Johnny, good to see you.
Great to see you. And the lady of the house as well. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Now
Come
then,
on in.
thank you very much.
Come on
When I first showed them around in September 2016, the first room we explored was the living room with views over the Wye Valley. But the small windows just didn't do it justice.
Right then, so what have we done? Were we talking bifold doors here before, when we first saw it?
Well, we did think bifold doors, but we've had some quotes, and to put bifolds in is going to be really expensive.
They are expensive.
So we've decided maybe floor-to-ceiling oak windows, so we can still look at the
I'm
view.
glad you're doing something, because
Yes.
that, I mean, that view, you can't see it today, but it is
Yeah.
quite
Exactly.
spectacular, isn't it? I can see someone's been doing...
Moving
You got angry
radiator.
mice? What's going on?
We had some sockets there, so we've moved that and the radiator and had some new lights put in preparation for knocking the wall out.
Oh, OK, fine. Well, look, you've only been here, what, 4
Just
5
on
months?
5 months.
Right, OK, so it's just moving in and nesting as much as anything else.
Absolutely.
As well as new floor-to-ceiling windows in the living room, they're also working on turning the former dining room in the older part of the house into a snug. But what about the solid wood kitchen in the modern extension?
Nothing's changed, has it? Pretty much all as was.
We wanted a table in the kitchen, so more of a farmhouse kitchen.
OK.
And the utility room, we need to be able to get into that from the outside, so we're going to put a doorway in.
We've just had to walk all the way through the house to get to the
Exactly.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Is that what you have to do with the shopping? No?
Yeah, not much fun, yeah.
They're taking their time over the building work, but that doesn't mean Adrian and Sarah aren't impulsive. Let's not forget how they acquired this house in the first place.
It turns out you had already made your minds up about this house before you'd even seen the mystery property, haven't you? You put the offer in, hadn't you?
That's absolutely right. We didn't want to miss this one.
We knew it was, we'd been looking at so many houses, we knew it was the one. The first time we walked around the front of the house with you and saw the view, it was like, we're buying this house.
It's a showstopper moment, that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't build a view like that. You can do things to houses, but that view is priceless.
There's a cliche, and I disagree with it strongly. People say, oh, you don't buy a view. You absolutely do. Yeah. The house, I think you said at the time, the house isn't configured in a perfect way.
No, absolutely.
But you've got the space, you've got the view, you've got the area.
Exactly, we can do stuff to it, make it our own, so.
After just 5 months of settling in time, their business plan is work in progress. The long-term goal is still setting up a glamping enterprise, but for now, they're reaping the rewards from their land.
Wow, this is bursting with apples, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You're ready.
All ready to go.
Can I have a little shake?
Yeah, go for it.
OK, now I'm soaking. I can see why you're stood there.
Their orchard is already being put to good use.
Now, where are all these apples going then?
They're going to the local village pressing.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Is that a community event, is it?
It is, in October, early October, and if you've got an orchard, you can bring your apples along and they press them into apple juice for you.
Cute. Any idea what kind of apples these are? Because they're all very different varieties looking around,
These are russets.
OK.
We got Bramleys, there's cooking apples, and these are all eating apples.
Yep. So, what's the situation with your enterprise, the glamping business or whatever it's going to be? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, we've decided probably where we're going to put the cabin or tree house in the woods.
In the woods, yeah. I mean,
in the woods.
Otherwise, what do you got those woods for? Apart from chopping the odd tree down for firewood, you might as well make use of it, might you?
And it's a gorgeous location.
Oh, isn't it just? So you're moving in the right direction.
Yep, getting started.
And what's the sort of plan then? If you get the planners saying yes, go for it, what, within the next 18 months, I suppose?
Yeah,
yep,
definitely. I think that's realistic.
If we get the thumbs up, yep.
That's great. Meantime, you've got all these apples to pick. It's all very well and good taking these down to the village and make apple juice out of them, but cider?
Next year.
Next year?
Definitely.
With the glamping on hold for now, Adrian and Sarah are spending their free time getting to know their neighbours in the village of St Breville's. The local shop also serves as a deli and tea room, and is a popular gathering place.
It feels like there's plenty going on in this village. Have you immersed yourselves in village life?
We have.
You have?
There's a lot going on in St Breville's.
Go on then, what do you do?
I do Zumba.
You do Zumba? OK. Yeah. Where's that? Is there a village hall here?
School hall. Yeah.
OK, all right. I was hoping you can say you do Zumba. That's all.
No, I don't do Zumba, I have to say. But I did do the quiz at the village hall.
OK then, any challenges?
Just having your own land, you know, and learning new skills about how to look after that land I've really enjoyed through the summer.
Were you a bit overwhelmed at first?
I don't think so, because we've taken one thing at a time, and we're very lucky. Our neighbours are very knowledgeable. They've been incredibly helpful. So it's actually been fairly smooth, really.
It has. Everyone's made us feel really welcome.
Have they?
Yeah, definitely.
Whoever your neighbours are, whoever makes these, get friendly with them. This is unbelievable, this is.
Absolutely.
For anybody looking to make their own escape to the country, what advice would you give them?
Do it as soon as you can.
Yeah, really? I suppose actually, yeah. If I had a regret, it's that I didn't do it sooner.
Look, that's not a bad thing, is it? At least you've made that decision. It shows you're happy with where you are now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look, fair play to you. Thank you for inviting me down. Thank you for buying me this millionaire shortbread. You didn't know that, did you? But you are buying this for me. That's my commission. I wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonnie.
Let's get something proper, shall we?
It's been great to catch up with Adrian and Sarah a year on from our original house search and see how they're making the most of their country move.
There are all sorts of different lifestyle choices behind a move to the countryside. It might be to start a new rural business, or, as was the case with my next buyers, retirement was looming and they wanted to be closer to family.
In the spring of 2013, Arthur, known to his friends and family as Goose, and his wife Judy were living in the town of Marlow in Buckinghamshire. They'd moved to England from South Africa 30 years ago, but longed to get away from the commuter belt.
We both grew up in Africa and both grew up in a rural sort of, lifestyle. And I think now is the time that we'd like to really recreate that.
They'd set their sights on moving to Herefordshire to be closer to family.
The reason we want to go to Herefordshire particularly is because our daughter is there and she's married to a farmer.
We do travel there quite often for weekends, really enjoy it, and the farm life as well, and which is really one of the main reasons that's got us into the idea of moving to the countryside.
With retirement on the horizon, they were looking forward to spending more time on their passions. Goose wanted to be close to a golf course, and Judy was keen to do more painting. They wanted a property with character and light, spacious rooms, 3 bedrooms to accommodate friends, and a large kitchen. The garden was also an important factor as they hoped to grow vegetables and keep chickens. They had a top budget of £400,000. We started our search in the village of Goodrich, where I showed them a property which commanded 180-degree views over the Wye Valley.
Look at the snow over the top of the mountains there.
Wonderful. Well, this house is all geared up to enjoy that view. Look at the way it faces. And this is us.
Yeah, first impression.
First impression, yeah.
Nice.
Looks
well maintained
in good
as
nick.
well, just from the outside.
It was a barn
Oh, was it?
with a cider press inside it. I'll tell you a bit more when we go inside.
Let's go and have a look.
The characterful property was on the site of a mid-19th century cider mill. We began our tour in the kitchen.
I think it's quite nice, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Size-wise, it's not huge. I'd prefer the kitchen to be a bit bigger, if I'm completely honest. I like the kitchen. I like the style of the kitchen. It's got a nice feel about it.
Configured with an upside-down layout, the living accommodation was on the first floor and included a reception room with bay window.
This is a nice room. Beautiful view, lovely windows. We're used to having a bigger room where we live now.
Right.
But I do realise that we are probably going to have to downsize in rooms, and I honestly believe this is ample. This is fine for us. We don't need a room much bigger than this.
In total, there were 3 bedrooms in this property, with 2 of those located downstairs on the lower level.
The 3 bedrooms you've got are of similar size. This has got the bathroom opposite.
Cupboard space, where would you put your clothes?
It's smaller on the downstairs, so
Okay.
it feels that way than the upstairs.
Right, okay. This is a small room.
I would struggle to think of actually living here because I don't know where I put my clothes.
With concerns about inside space, we ventured outside to take in the land. The garden was on a slope which could have been terraced to accommodate a vegetable plot and chicken run.
When I brought you here, I knew this would probably be the main compromise because of its position on the hill.
Yeah.
So how much do you think this house is on the market for?
Do you want to go first, Judy?
I reckon...
Ever the gent goose?
Ever the gentleman?
I reckon about 349.
OK.
I'm going to go higher. I would say it's about 365.
Right, OK, well, not high enough. This place on the market offers around £399,995.
Right, okay.
A fraction under budget, property number 1 had many positives to recommend it, but there was a sense it hadn't quite hit the mark outside.
The view was absolutely amazing, so that was really good. I must admit, seeing the garden somewhat put me off a bit.
Our next offering was in the village of Staunton-on-Wye, where I showed Goose and Judy a classic Herefordshire black and white timber-framed property dating back to the 1800s.
I honestly think it looks really nice.
It looks cute.
Good.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than not bad.
A positive start to proceedings, and I was hopeful as the black and white theme continued inside.
I like this sort of openness. It feels big.
It is big. I mean, it's a lot bigger than the living room in the first house.
A lot
Yeah.
bigger. It's still very nice and airy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
really well maintained and well looked after.
Yeah, isn't it just?
The eat-in kitchen overlooked the rear of the property.
I like this.
You do?
Lovely.
You'd
yeah.
like that, wouldn't
like
you?
that.
A lot of people have a range, especially for the winter, but for the summer, they'll have an electric hob and an
Yeah.
oven. So
Yeah.
best of both worlds, really.
Yeah.
Onwards and upwards, let me take you to the master bedroom.
Okay.
A staircase in the dining room led to 2 first-floor bedrooms, which included the one earmarked for our couple.
It does seem to have quite a lot of room, especially around the beds, and a lot of storage space with the drawers across there.
It's big enough, I think.
Yeah. see myself waking up in the morning here.
Well, that sounds good.
With full marks for the accommodation, we explored the outside space, which featured a paved cottage garden and an orchard. But there was something else I wanted to show them.
How about that?
Wow. Does this all come with the house?
A whole lot.
Wow.
All the way over
Massive.
towards those silver birches. Right. But the very best thing, the thing I love the most, well, that little chalet lodge type thing there has electricity, running water, and already a bedroom and kitchenette set up in there.
Oh, wow.
I believe it.
That's amazing. Gosh,
Wow.
that is a surprise.
How much do you think this house is on the market for?
I reckon right at the very top end of our budget, 399, maybe even slightly more.
I'll be really optimistic and say 380.
I cannot believe 380.
This place on the market for offers around £395,000.
That does surprise
Wow.
me.
That's amazing.
That does surprise me.
£5,000 under budget, the character and layout of our second property had Goose and Judy singing its praises.
Really lovely. Thought it had a lovely feel to it.
Certainly a much more positive feeling towards this property.
You know, I do like to end the first day's house hunting with a really strong contender. And that second property, the gorgeous cottage with its own land, had clearly wowed both Goose and Judy. But I still had the mystery house up my sleeve, which, as we all know, is guaranteed to throw something unpredictable into the equation.
Our final stop was in the desirable village of Berg Hill. The mystery house was a listed, partly thatched cottage, not far from a golf course.
It's really sweet. Lovely. Quintessential chocolate
It's a country house if I've ever seen one.
First impressions were good, but the reason it was chosen as the mystery house was about to be revealed. Judy and Goose wanted light and spacious rooms, but this was more warm and cosy.
Very nice kitchen.
I like it.
Isn't it? Really nice.
It is really
Yeah,
nice.
it's lovely. I hope there might be another area.
2 reception rooms to have a look at. Which one do you want to have as a dining room then?
Oh.
Oh, lovely. This is lovely. It's really nice.
Yeah, I like this room.
Dining in here?
Absolutely superb.
The second reception room was a cosy snug with a wood burner. Upstairs, there were 3 bedrooms, including a master suite.
This is nice. I like it. Nice and bright.
Got a bit of storage there.
Well, have a look at that storage. Have a quick peek.
Ha-ha.
Quite sneakily put in there.
Sweet.
It's not massive up here.
No, it's not.
not
but
too
I think
pokey.
it would.
It isn't?
And it's light. And it's light. And
Yeah, it
airy.
is.
With the mystery house dispelling Goose and Judy's fear of small and pokey cottages, all that was left was to show them outside, which featured a large lawn and raised beds, as well as 2 sheds that could have made an excellent artist studio for Judy.
What do you think it's worth?
395.
Okay.
I think I know what this property costs.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it on the internet.
Okay. How much do you think this place is on the market for, or how much you know it's on the market for?
365,000.
This is smug Judy, isn't it? Yeah, I've just met smug Judy. Well, yes, you're absolutely quite right. It's £365,000.
£35,000 below budget, the listed mystery cottage had exceeded expectations.
It's really, really pretty. It's a real chocolate box house and right in the middle of a village, which is perfect. And obviously not far from the golf club, so the whole thing was really, I was thrilled.
So, in the end, which one of our houses did they press ahead with and buy? Well, they were clearly charmed by the heritage of our mystery house. But let's not forget they also liked our second property, the black and white timber-framed house with bright rooms and lots of land. And then, of course, there was the first option, the hillside barn conversion. They certainly liked the house, but was the garden a challenge too far? So which one did they ultimately pick?
It's funny, isn't it? At the start of their search, Judy and Goose specifically told me no small dark cottages. But when it comes to the mystery house, that's like showing a red rag to a bull, because that's exactly what they got. But some 5 years later, they now call that mystery cottage home. Let's catch up with them. Hello, how are you?
Jonnie, good to see you.
Lovely to see you, Judy. Are you well? Well, you look well.
Well,
Goose, how are you, pal?
We're fine, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And over those 5 years, it's clear that Goose and Judy have not only made changes to their country home, but also their lifestyle.
So, the doggy is the latest member of the family?
That's Millie.
Yes,
Millie's about 3 years old.
So, regular dog walks, I suppose, meeting the locals?
At least once a day.
Oh, good.
I do the dog walks.
Oh.
Mainly. Well, I
He's
play
on
golf.
the golf course.
Well, we knew that was always going to be on the horizon, didn't we? But looking around, I mean, this looks pretty new.
Everything is new. It was only finished about 3 days ago, 2-3 days ago.
3 days ago?
Yeah.
The new kitchen still retains the farmhouse feel of the cottage, but with a stylish modern twist, including lighter pastel cupboards. They've also kept the range.
When I showed you this property, I asked you to guess the price, and you got it spot on, because you'd seen this for sale on the internet, hadn't you?
Yep, I had.
And would you have come to view this house then, do you think?
I think so. I was a little bit wary because I didn't think Goose would like it.
Well, I can tell you why you wouldn't have liked it, because the list you gave me said definitely not this kind of house.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the opposite of what you
It wasn't
asked.
on our wish list at all, this sort of house. But
Small, dark and pokey.
yeah, small, dark and pokey.
So the kitchen, a big thing you've put in. What else have you done to this lovely old house?
We've done quite a bit. If we go through there, we'll show you. We've put a couple of new wood burners in.
Well, let's go and take a look. Lead the way.
Goose and Judy have also put their personal stamp on the living room next door.
I remember it being just so lovely and warm and welcoming, this house, and you've kept that feeling, haven't you?
We've tried to, yeah. We've put new windows throughout the house.
They were single glazed, were they not?
They were iron single glazed windows. And
so your
ugly.
heat just sort of
Straight out.
escaped,
And
just
we had-
walked out, didn't it?
Yeah, and we had terrible trouble with condensation. The walls used to go black, and so the first year it was quite damp.
All the windows are bespoke and put in by a specialist joiner.
So every window is different. Every window had to fit the opening.
Absolutely, yes.
Crikey, that's a big job in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
They also set about acquiring new furniture as some of their old belongings didn't fit into their new home.
We've always lived in a 70s house and we just thought, change is as good as a holiday. And here we are.
How old's this house? Can't remember.
300
years,
305 years, I think.
This is a new world.
It's lovely.
isn't it?
It's lovely. I still wake up in the morning and come down and think, oh, I can't believe we live in such a gorgeous house.
Well,
I love it.
that's music to my
Absolutely.
ears.
Part of the reason Goose and Judy settled on our mystery house was its outside space. They wanted a garden to grow vegetables in. The addition of a greenhouse has helped them with that. But they also had plans to keep chickens. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
I hear no clucking.
Oh dear.
We had chickens. We
dear.
had chickens for a year.
If I put my foot in it, has Mr. Fox come visiting?
No,
we
we
wish
didn't actually.
we wish Mr. Fox had come earlier, but
Go on, what
The
happened?
hens were lovely, and it was brilliant going down there and collecting eggs, fresh eggs for breakfast. It was lovely. But unfortunately, I like to let them free range, and they kind of wreck the garden. And B, we had a terrible rat problem.
Oh,
as big as squirrels, some of them.
right, okay. This is all country living though, isn't it?
And
It is. They were a hassle because
also time.
if you go away, you could ask the neighbours to come and close them, up at night and let them out in the morning, and it.
And for someone who's committed to spending as many daylight hours on the golf course,
Yes.
this didn't really fit in with that, did it?
It didn't really, no. We now get eggs from the neighbour who's got chickens and they've got the rats, so...
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Pass on the responsibility and the
Absolutely,
perks and the downside.
At least they've given keeping chickens a go. And Goose is clearly enjoying the nearby golf course, leaving Judy plenty of time for her artistic pursuits. Whilst the home studio is still work in progress, she regularly attends a drawing group in Bromyard.
this is it.
Looks
this is where I
promising.
paint.
Yeah, it does.
Today I'm tagging along to have a look at what they're working on. Or so I thought.
So what are we all drawing today? What's the task?
Well, actually, I thought you.
Me.
We'll draw you. Do you want to sit down there?
Pitch up, okay. Well, it means I don't have to embarrass myself.
Thankfully, the naked life drawing class was last week. The studio is run by local artist Alfred Mann.
So, Alfred, how long has Judy been coming here?
I guess you've been coming about 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Made some progress in that period
Really?
of time. Oh, yeah.
Were you quite rusty to begin with then?
Very.
Were you?
Yeah. Well, I hadn't done it since I was at school.
What about your social circle? I mean, you've moved to a new area. Have you found making friends? I mean, you would have found it hard to make friends anyway, I know that.
It's been very easy. There's a great crowd of people up at the golf club. We fitted in very well, and good neighbours as well. Everyone seems to have plenty of time for each other, you know, it's a country way, I suppose.
Now, it sounds like a lot of you ladies have been here for quite some time. How does the local community respond to this migration from the city, people moving into the area?
There are two different aspects. People like new people coming in because it helps to keep places going.
Yeah, of course.
It's new people, new ideas. But other people are not too keen because that's how it's always been done. I like it my way.
Yeah.
And I don't want anything changing.
Sure.
But if we don't have regeneration, if we don't have people coming in, then it's going to stagnate.
Progressive, isn't it?
We need to be a little bit progressive, not too much.
Progressive with a small p?
Yeah.
But I suppose then there is a certain responsibility or duty for people who move into the area to embrace the community they move into.
Absolutely. There's no point in trying to set up your own little enclave.
No.
You need to be part of the community, get out there, join in, and generally have fun.
Some good advice there. Time to see what the group make of me.
Should we start with June? How are we looking?
I apologise first.
Oh, I'll take that. I look very tall. I'll definitely have that. Maggie, don't snigger. Oh, wow. That's really good. Ruby, you've had the expert looking over your shoulder. Wow, very good. You've been much more generous with the hair. Thank you for that.
This one's the expert.
That's Alfred's. OK, Judy, hit me with it. Oh, bravo. That's very good.
But there's one drawing I've really been waiting for.
Go on then, Goose, hit me with it.
Well, I'm absolutely over the moon with this. I think it's fantastic.
A set of golf clubs.
Yeah.
And you've awarded yourself a highly commended rose.
Yeah.
I think I speak on behalf of the whole art class, including Alfred, that you best get back on the golf course.
Thanks very much.
Well, I must say, it's been lovely meeting you all today. It's been great catching up with you guys. All the best with your continuing art. Good luck on the golf course. I'll see you next time in the area.
Thank you.
Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Bye. See you, Johnny.
Bye.
You know, finding properties for people that buy them and go on to call them home makes my job extremely satisfying. But I want to leave you with one final thought. Escaping to the country isn't just about finding a dream house. I think it's also about going in search of a better quality of life, which, as you can see, Sarah, Adrian, Judy and Goose have all found. And it's a very nice thing indeed to think that we've played a small part in that happiness. See you next time.
If you dream of escaping to the country in Wales, Scotland, England or Northern Ireland and would also like our help, you can apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.